And this week, I decided to go with a story that is not related to the ones that I've talked about with all the CinemaCon stuff. No, this is not going to be about one specific movie where it revealed its title, or just an entire studio that revealed its little list of animated films that they're going to be releasing up to 2020, or anything like that. I am actually going to be going into a trailer this time. And, funny enough, it does seem coincidental that now, week after week, we have been getting trailers for animated films. Rather it be like that whole giant batch where we got stuff like Despicable Me 3 and Coco, and then the week after that, we got Captain Underpants, and now this week, we actually got a trailer for an animated film from Blue Sky Studios. Now, the thing with Blue Sky is that nowadays, they are really gathering a bad reputation, especially since the last animated film that they have released, I think it can be pretty much agreed with many people that it is the worst Blue Sky film that they have ever made, which is Ice Age Collision Course, the 5th installment of the Ice Age franchise, and the one that everyone is pretty much unanimous by saying that they need to stop making these Ice Age movies. It's enough, okay? Like, we got too much at this point, and you could tell that they're just running out of ideas with it, especially since at the box office, it really did not do as well as the previous installments, or at least it's the weakest of the sequels that they have made. So yeah, nowadays, people do not look at Blue Sky Studios likely, but they're hoping that with this movie, maybe they could have a little bit of their reputation back. At this point, they need another Peanuts movie to show that they can be a serious animation studio, that they can make more movies than just Ice Age. And they're hoping to deliver it with that, with Ferdinand. Now, if you don't know what the story is about, apparently, from what this trailer is telling us, is that we got this big, threatening bull named Ferdinand. But on the inside, the dude is an absolute sweetheart. He's not necessarily a bull where he thinks like other bulls and just wants to charge at people. With this one, Ferdinand just wants to smell flowers. That's all that he wants to do. He just wants to relax, be in the meadows and just go out and sniff flowers. That's all that he wants to do. But since everybody sees him as a bull, they want to go and treat him like a bull, and especially the fact that he's a bull in Spain, they want to put him in a bullfighting pit. And that's where Ferdinand would get some help with his animal friends in order to try to escape the bull pit and, just be himself and go in the meadows just so he can go out and try to smell flowers. And that's pretty much all that we got so far. I mean, at the most, it's nothing more than just this typical, just be yourself kind of story, or don't judge a book by its cover. You can already tell the moral of the story is very prominent in there. But on top of that, they also did announce some of the cast members that will be involved. These would include Kate McKinnon, coincidentally, Gina Rodriguez, David Diggs, Gabriel Iglesias, and so much more. And then we got the bull himself. Ferdinand is actually played by John Cena. And if I could be very honest, the one good thing that I could say coming out of this trailer is that I'm actually really happy that they got someone like John Cena. And the reason for that is actually because just recently, I actually saw Surf's Up 2 Wave Mania because I have to do a review on my YouTube channel. And the one good thing that I could say coming out of this movie, despite it being an absolutely stupid film from Sony Pictures Animation and WWE, the good thing is that John Cena is actually a pretty good actor. Like, you can tell that if you can give him a good script, he can actually really make some magic. The dude really is talented, and even if he's just working with like really dumb, stupid scripts, like whatever WWE would bring him, he would go and make the most out of it. And even in this trailer right here, he does like, he does deliver a great performance as Ferdinand. Like, I know that a lot of people are not necessarily too happy over the fact that Blue Sky would decide to go and bring in this wrestler that's just trending right now, and a lot of people only see him as either the wrestler or just as the meme of, and his name is John Cena, and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I can definitely tell that he could be like The Rock 2.0. He definitely has the talent to do so. He just needs the right script and be in the right movie to really have his career launch so big as much as Dwayne The Rock Johnson is right now. But also, going back into the trailer that we got with Ferdinand, yeah, it didn't necessarily deliver as much, and we mostly just see Ferdinand just being a little silly, just being in his little shenanigans. Rather it be trying to carefully not break anything in a china shop, or like he's preparing to go attack a barrel and then suddenly he stopped and tumbled because he was about to crash land onto a little cute bunny rabbit and tries to perform CPR on him. And yeah, that's basically all that we got. But interestingly enough, if there's one weird aspect I would say coming out of the Ferdinand movie, is actually the fact that you really do have some strong sense of home on the range. I don't know what it is, but you could tell in the art style that it has a little bit of that cartoony flair, but not too much. It's not going like with what we're getting this year with the Boss Baby or Captain Underpants, but it definitely does have that home on the range look where it has these stylized cows and even Ferdinand himself. In fact, I would not actually be surprised if the animators at Blue Sky actually did take some inspiration from the 1938 Disney cartoon, which actually won an Oscar, Ferdinand the Bull. And by the way, I just want to mention that if you are an animation fan, then you're probably familiar with the story of Ferdinand because of that Disney cartoon. It is considered one of the more popular ones, or one of the grand achievements that have been performed by the Silly Symphony series. So it is interesting that like it would start out as this little cartoon and then like it expand bigger into this Ferdinand movie. But yeah, that's one thing I would like to know from the animators at Blue Sky, is if they took a lot of inspiration from if they took inspiration from the Ferdinand cartoon for this, because you could definitely tell, like I can smell a bit of Disney in this, no pun intended. But but even with that, though, I would say that I am definitely confident that the animators at Blue Sky can deliver something great, especially since you can see that in the little village where Ferdinand was, you can see that it's trying to capture that Spanish village. Like they're trying to do something in the veins of what they did with Rio and what they did with the entire city with it. But in here, they're just going to go with a bit of a Spanish flair. So who knows how it could probably turn out. I'm sure it could be visually stunning. But one thing that I do not see with this movie is if it's going to be a box office hit, especially with its release date, considering that it's pretty much going to be out around or at the same time as this year's Star Wars movie. And I know that some people might say that, well, you know, maybe it could actually find a way to get profit. I mean, if you look at Sing, that movie actually did become very successful at the box office, despite always being overshadowed by Rogue One. That is true, though. However, there is a major catch to it. With Sing, it was only up against a Star Wars spin-off. And yeah, like Rogue One was a huge hit, but it was nowhere near the numbers of The Force Awakens. But then you look at the case of Ferdinand, and with that movie, it is up against Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, which is the sequel to The Force Awakens, and I can definitely guarantee you that for many people, it is the most anticipated film of 2017. So of course, there are going to be a lot more people, including myself, that are pretty much going to be going out there and say, yeah, you know what? Screw the John Cena bull. I'm going to go and check out Rey being trained by Luke Skywalker. So that's kind of the big thing, is that, yeah, when it's a direct sequel to a really big movie, people are definitely going to go check that out. I mean, Sing did get a little bit of leeway, considering that it is just a Star Wars spin-off that focuses more on the Death Star more than it is a follow-up to what, like, basically the highest grossing film of the decade. So, yeah, there is that big factor. But if you guys are still excited to go and check out Ferdinand, then all you have to do is just wait until December 15th for the movie to be released. Hey guys, this is AniMat. I just want to remind you guys that this is just a little taste of what you can get with the Animation Podcast. This is not all of it. If you guys want to go and listen to the full episodes of the Animation Podcast, then allow me to show you some of the different ways that you can go. First off, you can actually go on the website that it is hosted on, Filmbook, so you can go directly onto there. You can also go and check out the official Filmbook Podcast YouTube page, so at least you don't have to go away from YouTube and you can listen to the podcast right there. But if you would like to listen on the go, like if you want to listen it to on your phone or on your iPad and all that kind of stuff, then you can listen to it on either iTunes or you can listen to it on Android. So those are all the different options, and if you'd like to have more info, then all you have to do is just check in the description down below. And with all that said, I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening, and until next time, see you later, dudes!